So I'm back this week with my book review, and for this week I had the classic Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, and of course it's one of my favorite books. It's one of my favorite movies, it's one of my favorite books, and you get so excited when you read it because it's, first of all, it takes a long time to read it because in my head I'm like translating like the older English to modern English and trying to understand like the meanings and stuff. But at the same time, it's so cute. Like, this book is the original. He falls first and she falls, like, it takes a while, and he's the kind of shy, he doesn't know like what he wants, and he comes off as like rude, but he's not rude. So like obviously when the accounts of it come later, and Elizabeth gets to know what Darcy is like through other people, she finds out like he's actually a really good guy. He takes care of his family, he takes care of the people around him, he's got like a good head on his shoulders, he's got good values, all of that kind of stuff. And it's so exciting because there's like the little moments where like you can highlight. I've like underlined so much stuff of like Darcy every time he sees Elizabeth, and he's like, oh, her eyes, they're so bright, oh, they're so cute, and then like how she's glowing and how she's witty and how she's, intelligent. Obviously, like the first proposal didn't go so well, because he was just literally insulting her family. And to be fair, her family kind of does deserve to get insulted, because if you've watched the movie and also if you've read the books, like the mom is a lunatic. She's a raging lunatic, because no one should behave. But at the grown age of, what is she, like 50 maybe? She's got 5 daughters, she's probably 50, 60. She should not be chasing after officers and men and trying to flirt and be kiddish and trying to like match the energy of her 15-year-old daughter, which I thought was really inappropriate. Like, you wouldn't catch a normal 50-year-old doing something like that, because it's disturbing, to be honest. And then you've got like the 2 younger sisters, Lydia and Kitty, and they're 15-year-old girls. I imagine myself to be a little like similar in that situation, like boy crazy, but not to the point where you would run away and get married. That's too much. But then you get like Jane and you get Elizabeth, you get that dynamic, you get the relationship between Elizabeth and Charlotte, and then you've got Mr. Darcy, and you've got his relationship with his friends, Mr. Bingley and Colonel Fitzwilliam, and you see like this, it's very similar, they're very similar people, but at the same time I feel like Darcy is just overall a more warm person than Elizabeth. Even in the books, Elizabeth has a lot of pride. I know in the book like it's supposed to be her having a lot of pride. I think she has a lot more pride than he does, because he's gradually able to like very soon afterwards able to accept that I was wrong and change his ways, and he goes from being attacking her in a marriage proposal, saying I love you against better judgments of my family, my expectations, my position in society, and you're like, do you expect me to rejoice in how poor your connections are and your inferiority of birth, all those kinds of things. And he changes. Like, the next step for him was to break down his person, like to be kind to the people around him, to make an effort into speaking to people that are not of his equal social status, to kind of extend a helping hand, to be polite. And you see Elizabeth also noting these little changes where he's becoming a lot more civil, and he's now smiling, he's extending his good faith to people that she would have otherwise considered him to think of like unimportant. And the game changer for me was like in both was that when I say in both, I mean like the 2005 movie and in the book, is where he's like, do you want to meet my sister Georgiana? And I'm like, yes, of course I would like to meet your sister Georgiana, because it's so cute. Imagine being offered to, like, you've been fighting all this time and now you're extending, like, meet the person that is most dear to me, and I would have lost my mind. I also think Elizabeth was a bit of a gold digger, let's not lie. She saw Pemberley and she was like, imagine being the mistress of this house. I mean, imagine, like, who wouldn't want to be the mistress of that house? But I think that's one of the biggest factors that, like, changed her opinion of him, is seeing how much of stuff that she would have if she were the mistress of Pemberley. But I think Darcy is like a game changer for all men. He realized the errors in his ways and he moved on. He was like, you know what, I need to change. If I need to be a better person, if there's some sort of chance for me to reel in Elizabeth Bennet, I need to become a better person. I need to be more acceptable for who she wants me to be, kind of thing. And you don't have to change your entire personality for a relationship, not saying that, but try, and the book, okay, the confessions, okay, but when you watched the 2005 movie of Pride and Prejudice, that scene where they were just like throwing words at each other in the rain, and he comes close and he's like, so this is your opinion of me, and she's like, you were the last man I would ever, last man left on earth, and then he's like, should I kiss her, and he's like, sorry madam for taking up so much of your time. And then you go to the next proposal scene. Oh no, forget the proposal scene. It was a scene where, like, they introduced Georgiana and he was just smiling at her the whole time, and you can see his face like lit up with teeth and the eyes, and you're like, they don't make men like that anymore. Gosh, it makes me excited. And then you get the final proposal scenes of him saying, you have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you. I never wish to be parted with you from this day on. Wow. They don't make romance like that anymore because, wow. Because I will watch that movie 100 more times just to hear those confessions again. But yes, so that is Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, and it was a 10 out of 10 read for me. Characters, the two main characters I really like. Obviously not a fan of Elizabeth's family. I am a fan of Darcy's family because I really like Georgiana. She's very cute. So yeah, that's my review for this week, and that's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And my next one is going to be The Tea Planter's Wife, and that's by Dina Jeffries. She's also the one who wrote the book Before the Rains, which I did a review on earlier. And I know the basic setting of it is in Ceylon, which is Sri Lanka at the time, and being Sri Lankan myself, I would like to see what the story is about. And obviously Before the Rains was really good. It made me like very emotional, so I want to see how Before the Rains also does. I'm sorry, Tea Planter's Wife also does. But yeah, that's my review for this week. A very exciting book. It makes you want to like kick your feet up like this when you're reading it, because you get so excited, and then you see like the little things on Darcy, and you're like, Imagine having a boy think about you like that. As different. But yeah. So that's my review for this week. Very exciting. Very exciting. Alright, I'll be back with my TBR and my review of Tea Planter's Wife next week. Bye!